Hey guys, welcome back from spring break. I know many of you probably had your plans altered or even canceled in some way, but hopefully all this can be over by summer and maybe you'll be able to do some of the things that with your family that you couldn't do over spring break. I want to give you some new directives per Dr. Johns about how Web is going to look for you each week. Okay, it's going to be probably a little different than what it was. This is an effort to help you and maybe also to help your parents as they help you as we continue the e-learning. So what Web will look like for you on the lesson plans is on Monday and Wednesday, you're going to see a video giving you content explanation from your teachers. And then on Tuesday and Thursday, you'll be given exercises or some type of work to complete. Friday's going to be a catch-up day. So if you did not get through with the assignments that were made on Tuesday and Thursday, then you'll have Friday to catch up, and we'll also be putting a summary of everything you should have turned in that week by 8 o'clock Friday evening. Okay, so all work's going to be due by the end of the week. So Monday and Wednesday will be a video. Tuesday and Thursday will be assignments for you to complete or at least to begin on. Friday will be a catch-up day for you. And then all work must be turned in by the end of Friday, 8 o'clock that night. I know some of you are dying to ask questions and you have not heard this in quite some time, so let me remind you what it sounds like.
No! For the last time, no.
Okay, maybe that makes you feel at home. Okay guys, if you want to pause me a minute while you get your book, you need to go to chapter 4. Chapter 4, and page 63. Now, you guys know that sometimes my pages do not match yours. So you need to be in chapter 4. If page 63 does not say revising run-on sentences, then you need to just find where chapter 4 starts, and that's going to be the first thing you come to in chapter 4, revising run-on sentences. This is something that we have already done, so again, this is review for you. And chapter 4 is about writing a newspaper editorial. You may or may not have done this for Ms. Rubel, but if you have, we're just going to do it again. This is a part of your book and a part of the curriculum in this book. We've studied all the parts of speech, but you can't do grammar without doing writing. So there will probably be some overlap between what you do for me maybe and what you will do or have done for Ms. Rubel. But before we get into the newspaper editorial, the lesson 31 is revising run-on sentences. So I want to remind you about that. Reminded you about a few things when you did your personal narratives. And so remind you about a few other things grammatically as you write your newspaper editorial. And then I'll give you some exercises to do with that. All right, so if you look on page 63 in the box that has the information in it, you see that it gives you a definition for a run-on sentence, which is you have joined two sentences together incorrectly. You may have put a comma. You may not have put anything. You may have put a fanboy. Remember, that's the coordinating conjunctions, without putting the comma. But you have joined, the bottom line is you've joined two complete sentences or two independent clauses. Remember, an independent clause has a subject, verb, and a complete thought. A dependent clause is missing the complete thought. It has a subject and a verb and begins with a subordinating conjunction, but does not have a complete thought. So a run-on sentence is when you have joined two complete sentences. That is, they both have a subject, verb, and a complete thought. We call them independent clauses. That means they can stand alone. You have joined them together incorrectly. I'll give you an example up on the board, the top. He went to the store, he bought bread. We have two complete sentences. He went to the store, he bought bread. We have a subject, he, a verb, and a complete thought. He went to the store. Over here we have another subject, he, and bought. And we have a direct object, bread, so that completes the thought, he bought bread. So we have two sentences joined together, two independent clauses, and there is no punctuation in between them. That makes a run-on sentence. All right, your book tells you the 3 ways that you can correct that. And so this is one of the things when you write your newspaper editorial, when you write anything, this is one of the things you need to make sure that you have not done. All right, so your book gives you the 3 ways that you can correct run-on sentences. One way is, of course, to put a comma, but not just a comma. Because if you put only a comma, we call that a comma splice. It's still a run-on sentence. It's not punctuated correctly. So in addition to the comma, you have to add a fanboy, a coordinating conjunction. So we can say he went to the store, comma, and he bought bread. And would be the correct fanboy to use in that particular sentence. I'm going to skip down to the bottom here. You can separate and make them 2 sentences. You need a variety of this, okay? You don't need for your whole paper to have a bunch of compound sentences, nor do you need for your whole paper to be little short, choppy sentences with no compound sentences. Remember, we have talked about that already. What makes for good writing is you vary your sentence structure. So you can correct this run-on sentence by dividing it into 2 sentences. He went to the store, period. He bought bread, period. The other way that you can correct it is by making one of those sentences into a dependent clause. Remember, a dependent clause is missing the complete thought. So if I say when he went to the store and stopped there, then that's called a dependent clause because there is no complete thought. If I came up to you and said when he went to the store, you would expect more information. It would not make any sense, okay? The subordinating conjunction is when, which you remember is one of the words questions that adverbs answer, the last part of speech that we did. So he bought bread. When did he buy bread? When he went to the store. So now we will call this a complex sentence. So down here we have 2 simple sentences. Here we have a compound sentence. Here, because one of these is now a dependent clause, we have a complex sentence. So you have used all of the type of sentences that we have learned, and you should vary your sentence structure so you have a mixture of that when you write your newspaper editorial or when you write anything. Okay, so we will stop there today, and I'm going to assign you exercises in your book to complete that relate to revising run-on sentences. And then the next video coming on Wednesday will give you some information about actually writing your newspaper editorial. Have a good day.